What's up guys? Welcome to another video by Goats on the Road. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the top 10 best things to do in Paris. So before we get started with this video, you'll notice I'm saying Paris and not Paris, and I'm not a native French speaker, so please forgive me if you're French and watching this video and my pronunciation is terrible. I know I'm Canadian, I should know better. So let's get started with this list. This video is all about the top 10 best things to do in Paris for first timers, so let's get started. The number one thing we recommend is to take the free walking tour. We always do these tours throughout Europe, and if you've never done one before, the way they work is you have a meeting point where you meet the guide and he takes you around the city and explains everything to you for free, and at the end you're just expected to tip a little bit, maybe 5 or 7 euro, whatever you think the tour was worth. It's a great system and we highly recommend the one with Saint-Domingues in Paris. That's the one we went with, and no, it's not a sponsor and not an affiliate, but highly recommended tour. We had a great guide and had a really good time checking out the city with them. Number 2 on this list of the top 10 best things to do in Paris is to visit the Louvre Museum. Of course, everybody who goes to the city is going to want to check this place out. At over 60,000 square meters, this is the largest single building museum in the world, and we were on the fence of whether or not we were going to go in, but we're really happy we did. We didn't spend an entire day in there. We spent as little time as possible because we really wanted to explore more of Paris, but we did give it about an hour and a half. And that was plenty of time for us to see the things we really wanted to see, like the Mona Lisa and the Regent jewels. It's really cool to go in and check out the building as well, because not only are you seeing the art and the sculptures around the Louvre, but the building itself is really phenomenal. The architecture and the ornate details and all of the rooms where you find the art is really fascinating. And definitely check out Get Your Guide for their Skip the Line tour, because the lines can be massive going into the Louvre, so you can save a lot of time by booking in advance. I'll leave the links in the description down below. Number 3 on our list of the top 10 best things to do in Paris is to get a selfie by the Eiffel Tower. This 324 meter tall wrought iron tower in the center of the city of Paris is so iconic, and it's actually now the #1 most visited paid monument in the world, seeing more than 7 million people buying tickets to go up every single year. But you don't really have to buy the tickets, because most people are going up to say they've been up the Eiffel Tower and to have a view of the city. But there are better places in Paris that you can check out to have a great view of the city, and we're gonna have that in our off-track things to do in Paris video, so stay tuned for that. The 4th thing on our list of things to do in Paris is to go to Montmartre, climb the stairs, and check out the Sacre Basilica. Montmartre is a stunning neighborhood that sits on top of a 130 meter high hill overlooking the rest of Paris. And there's a lot of narrow cobblestone streets, and there's people playing music in the streets. And this is the artist quarter as well. So you'll see a lot of artists painting in the plazas and parks of Montmartre. And it is just a really romantic, really artsy feeling neighborhood in the city. And the icing on the cake of Montmartre is of course the Sacre Basilica. And you can go inside for free and walk up the 300 steps towards the Basilica, and everywhere that you see it from the city, it just looks gorgeous. So definitely, if you're in Paris for even a day or two, make sure you set aside some time to check out Montmartre and the Sacre Basilica. Alright, number 5 on our list of things to do in Paris is to walk along the River Seine. This is a beautiful river that cuts the city in half, and most of the best sites are along the river, particularly in the 4th and 1st arrondissements. So you'll be walking and you'll be looking up at these historical monuments, and it's also a great place for people watching in Paris. It's next to none. Now we're gonna move on to the next 5 things on this list. So number 6 is walk to the Pantheon. This beautiful building was modeled after the Roman Pantheon, and it was built in the 18th century, and it's right in the center of the Latin Quarter, which is a great neighborhood to walk around as it is. And it's a great example of neoclassical architecture in the city of Paris. But it's not just that building that's important in the area. So there's like a massive park around the Pantheon, and there's the town hall, there's a lovely church there, and there's also the Research Institute of Paris. So walk around the area, take it all in, take some photos, and enjoy it, because it is a really interesting part of the city. Number 7 on our list is to check out the Bastille market. This is one of the most lively and largest markets in the city, and it's only open from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Sundays and Thursdays. So if you're in Paris during these times, get off the train there or take an Uber there and give yourself a couple hours to walk around the market. There's food, there's wine, there's cheese, there's clothing, there's everything you can imagine, and the entire market is just bustling all the way from 8 a.m. till 1 p.m. Number 8 on this list is to visit the Catacombs in Paris. The catacombs house the skeletal remains of between 6 to 8 million people that were all either buried or moved here from the cemeteries during the 18th century. So basically you enter the catacombs, you walk down these spiral staircases 30 meters below the city of Paris. You're in these dimly lit caves and you come into these rooms and there's just piles and piles of skeletons, skulls, femurs, bones. And as you're listening to the audio guide, there's sound effects and they're walking you through the history of how this came to be, and it's a fascinating thing to do in the city of Paris. Okay, number 9 on this list of the top 10 best things to do in Paris is to go have a picnic in the Luxembourg Gardens. These gardens were created by order of Queen Marie de Medici in 1612, and they're modeled after the Boboli Gardens in Florence, Italy. If you go to the gardens at any time of the day, in the morning, at lunch, or at sunset, you'll see a bunch of local Parisians there having picnics, making use of the tables and chairs that are provided for free. And a lot of them are drinking wine and eating food, and you can do the same, and it's a great way to just enjoy the outdoors in the city while being surrounded by the locals. Alright, now the 10th and final thing on this list of the best things to do in Paris. It might surprise you, it's basically to just get lost in the city. There are 20 different arrondissements or neighborhoods located in Paris, and they start from the center of Paris and they kind of spiral their way outward like the shell of an escargot as you get to the outer limits of the city. And each of the 20 arrondissements has its own unique character, so definitely one of our favorite things to do was just get lost in the different neighborhoods, walking down the narrow cobblestone roads and streets and checking out these beautiful historical monuments and plazas and parks that you just kind of stumble across while you're in Paris. And of course, you can also stumble into different bistros and bakeries and wineries and just enjoy the city for what it is. So give yourself hours and hours and hours to just get lost in the arrondissements. Alright, that's it. That was our list of the top 10 best things to do in Paris. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below, and if you want to see more videos like this, definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification button so you'll know whenever we produce new videos. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Until next time, enjoy your travels. See you later. His buddy threw it back in? What the hell is going on?